What's up? Welcome to Walking Dead Season 7 Recap. So, we are on Walking Dead Season 7. And today, welcome to Walking Dead Season 7. So this season picks up where the end of Season 6 left off, where we see Negan going eeny, meeny, miny, moe against one of our main characters, and he goes eeny, meeny, miny, moe, catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, Abraham, and uses his battle steel to crush in Abraham's skull. Abraham tells Negan one last time to suck his nuts, and I don't know if that's to say, but this guy loves nuts. And then Negan kills Abraham. R.I.P. Abraham, you were a cool character. So then Daryl decides to avenge Abraham, punches Negan. But Negan's like, no, Daryl, we are not. That is against the rules. So he goes, eeny, my mo. Second kill is Glenn. No, not Glenn. Glenn has been here since Season 1, and his wife is pregnant, and you're going to kill him off? Excuse me, writers. What were you thinking? Abraham? I get it. Actually, I don't get it, but I get it. I don't get it either. Him and Sasha were together after him breaking up with Lucia, but Maggie and Glenn have been together since Season 2, and you're gonna kill them off now before their baby is born? What is the matter with you writers? So he decides to kill Glenn. Again, no Glenn, we love him. He gives one instead of giving a cool line like, hey Rick, he's giving his first ever line in the show, hey dumbass, you in the tank, are you cozy in there? He gives a, hey Maggie, I will find you, and Negan kills him in front of a distraught Maggie. It hurts. So he takes Rick, after telling Rick and the gang that he owns everything that they own belongs to him. He takes Rick into his van and is like, hey Rick, you work for me now, and if you want to kill me, go and try ahead. So Rick tries to kill Negan, but it obviously doesn't work, and Negan's able to block Rick's attempt at the kill, and throws as like, Rick, get my axe for me, and a ton of walkers. So Rick is on top of the roof he gets the axe and gets on top of the roof. And Rick flashes on the characters he thinks are still he doesn't know their fates of, like Michonne or Maggie or Sasha or Zeta or Coral, One-Eyed Coral, or Girl Carl. Actually, wait, no, not Girl Carl. But anyway, so the group is able to reunite. Negan's like, yo Rick, he draws a mark on Carl, like saying, Rick, you're gonna kill Carl Sandoff. But then before Rick can do it, Negan's like, dude, I was just joking with you. Don't really cut off this kid's hand. So they decide to take Daryl hostage because Negan's grown fondness of him, I guess. And Maggie says that she wants to kill the Savior. But Sasha's like, hold up, Maggie, you're pregnant. I'll take you to the hilltop and Jesus is also there because he's there. So then after that, we have a whole storyline of Carol and Morgan. During last season, Carol left the group and broke up with Tobin, and so she decided to go on her own, where she found a couple of saviors and had to kill them. But their main guy survived and tried to kill Carol until Morgan broke free of his killing code and killed that guy. So he decides to he decides to take Carol to the kingdom owned by King Ezekiel. And if you haven't seen King Ezekiel in anything before, he's the main guy who's the voice of Cyborg in Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. And he also has a pet tiger in this. Cyborg doesn't have a pet tiger. Yeah, it's CGI. And he also has a friend named Jerry, who's really hilarious. And he also has a friend named Benjamin, who has a brother. And Carol's kind of looking at this, basically saying like, oh yeah, that's cool. But in reality, she's probably thinking, what show is this? Like this show's supposed to be about people surviving a zombie apocalypse. Now we got tigers. We got a kingdom. What did this show become? This show was meant to be about people finding how to survive a zombie apocalypse, not a tiger, a guy sitting on a throne with a CGI tiger. What did The Walking Dead become, folks? What did The Walking Dead become? Because I don't remember this being The Walking Dead. I remember The Walking Dead being about a couple of survivors trying to survive a zombie apocalypse. Not a guy sitting on a throne holding a chain to a CGI tiger. So King Ezekiel knows that Carol doesn't trust him. So he basically says like he's not really a king. He's just a zookeeper, and that's how he got the tiger. He just plays it up as he's some king for his fans at the place. Yeah, he's just some random nobody. So Carol decides to buy a place decided to buy an old house that has one walker in that she kills, and she decides to make this her current place of residence, away from everyone. Good job for Carol. So back now we get Daryl. Daryl is now being held captive by Negan. Yes, Negan. He's being captured by Negan. And they decide to play the music called We're on Easy Street. Easy Street. To basically annoy him, torture him. And we also got Dwight, his wife, now turned ex-wife. Because she was like, I'm sorry, dude. When you said we would regret this, I eventually did. So Negan's like, hey, Negan tells Daryl his story. Is that basically he was supposed to be married to he liked Sherry's sister Tina, but then Tina died, so now he's technically married to Sherry, and he has a bunch of other wives that are really scared of the dude, but only pretend to be married to him because they don't want to reveal that they're actually afraid of this guy. So Daryl's like, when Negan's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Daryl. He wasn't supposed to say that. He was supposed to say he's Negan. So Negan's like, put him back in his cell. So they throw him back in his cell. Now Daryl's captured again. Yeah, if you said you're Negan Daryl, you could have survived it. You could have been at Negan's top command. So back at Alexandria, we have the whole relationship between Girl Carl and Carl. Yes, her name's Enid. I know, but I call her Girl Carl because she's basically just a repainted girl version of the regular Carl, but girl. She's just Carl, but if Carl was a woman, that's just her character. It's been this since the 5th season when she got introduced. She doesn't have a character arc. She's just basically what if Carl was a woman and didn't have an eye patch. That's basically her character. She's basically just Girl Carl, and I will forever call her Girl Carl. If you have a problem with me calling Enid Girl Carl, Tell me in the comments below, because she will forever be Girl Carl to me. No one can change it. She is forever Girl Carl. Girl Carl. So yeah, she's forever Girl Carl. To me. Girl Carl. So yeah, so one day Negan decides to show up at Rick's place and is like, yo Rick, you belong to me and everything you own also belongs to me too. Oh Negan. Oh Negan, we love you. So he basically like saying, so he basically stalks on the armory and it's like, yeah, so Michonne decides to take a gun and fire at some walkers. But yeah, and has no idea. Yeah, one, yeah. So meanwhile, with Rosita, who I haven't mentioned a lot, she's totally dating that guy. She's totally dating that guy. What's his name? Spencer, Deanna's son, and they're totally like hanging out together and buying each other, like. But she can't find any bullets, so she asks Eugene, the guy who can make bullets, to make her one. But because it was found out that Spencer took all the bullets because he's really mad at Rick. He's basically like, Rick, when you took over, you basically messed everything up. And do you think Glenn and Abraham are happy now? They're dead. And he's like, don't you ever say that to me. Yeah, it's Rick. So, yeah, Spencer just doesn't like Rick. So Rosita gets mad when she finds out that he had like a bunch of guns and booze and food everywhere in his apartment. Because they were looking for guns and they found out that he had some. So Rosita's like, wait a minute, you had guns and you didn't tell me? We over, bro. Bye. So Rosita's basically now mad at him and asks Eugene to make her a bullet, which she wants to use to kill Negan. So, Negan threatens Olivia, and Carl has a guy at gunpoint saying, "Hey, yo, Rick, I'm gonna take all your stuff, bro." And he's like, "Let him do it." So Carl and Jesus decide to team up to kill Negan, but Carl decides to go off on his own to Negan's compound. And he kills one of Negan's guys. And Negan's like, whoa, Carl. I like you, Coral. I like you. So he basically introduces Coral to all of his wives. He finds out that one of his wives is actually sleeping with her real husband. And Negan does not like that. So she tracks down the real husband and burns his face alive with an iron. The same thing he did to Dwight. The guy survives though, but he's never seen again after this point. So he makes Carl take off his bandage, which makes him show his eye scar, which shows that he has no eye, and he makes Carl sing "Oh My Sunshine" because he's like, that's Carl, because he's like, that's the only song Carl knows. And Chandler Rigg does a really good song, even though he's sad in it, he's doing a really good job. So he's doing a really good job with this scene. This scene is really good for Chandler Rigg. So yeah, so Negan decides to take Carl. While Rick and the others are, Rick and Aaron, forgot to mention Aaron are looking for stuff for Negan. Negan decides to come into Alexandria with Carl, and he even asks Olivia, like, she's afraid of him because he was gonna kill her at one point, and it's like, where's Rick? And she's like, he went out with Aaron to look for stuff for you. He's like, okay, I'll wait. I'll take a shave. I'll play with his daughter. And Judith is just looking at like, yo, Coral, why are you looking at me with your other eye? It's just funny Judith talk. Judith doesn't really talk, but it's funny to make her actually think what she's actually saying stuff. So yeah. So Spencer decides to show up. And it's like, yo, Negan, I need, and they seem to get along until he starts talking about how he thinks Rick shouldn't be in charge because ever since Rick was in charge, he messed things up. And he's like, wait a minute, you want to kill Rick? And he's like, why haven't you done it already? He's like, I know why, because you don't got the guts. And stabs Spencer, causing all of his guts to fall out. Because good guts reference. And then he's like, and then they even kill Olivia by his assistant A-Rat. I don't know why they call her that, but she just shoots Olivia in the cheek, killing her. So Negan's like, Rick, look what I done for you. I killed the guy that was trying to kill you for you. I killed Olivia. I killed Olivia for you. Look, Rick, I did all this for you. So you should be thanking me, Negan. Yo, hashtag Negan. Hashtag Rick should be thanking Negan. So they take it. So Rosita decides to fire Negan hits the bat. Negan isn't happy. Negan tries to say who built the bullet. First Rosita tries to say it's her. Then randomly Tara tries to say she did. But then Eugene finally comes out and says he did. So they take Eugene captive, and then they go to Hilltop for. So yeah. So meanwhile, with Daryl, Sherry, Dwight's ex-wife, decides to help Daryl break out of Negan's compound. And then with Maggie and Sasha are at Hilltop, but Gregory, being one of my least favorite characters, who tries to kick them out because he's like, what if her being here attracts the saviors? And it's just like, dude, you're one of my least favorite characters. I don't want you in the show anymore. Get out. Leave. Get out of the show and have someone else be in charge of Hilltop because you're the worst. You're like Eugene. He's like Eugene. He's like a coward. Like, he tries to, at least Eugene tries to get under someone is a coward, but he tries to get under someone. This guy just is a coward. That's all he is. He lies to people. So anyway, yeah. So Jesus is like, yo, Maggie and Sasha are staying. So Rick and the others try to are like, yo, Gregory, we need your help on trying to take out the saviors. He's like, the saviors already have, and they already have Ian, girl Carl there because she and Carl went there, and when Carl was trying to take out Negan, and I didn't mention it, but she was there, and she's been there ever since. It's girl Carl. Who cares about girl Carl? She's an okay character. But anyway, yeah. They take Negan. So Negan takes Eugene captive, and Eugene is basically like, yeah, Eugene, you can have all my wives appear in your bed and stuff. So they have some science fun with Eugene, but then they're like, hey, Eugene, one of Negan's blonde wives, who real husband Negan killed, is really upset, and she really wants to die. So they have him build a suicide pill for her, but they actually reveal it's for Negan, because they were only using Eugene to build a suicide pill so they could kill Negan instead. But Negan's like, yo, I'm not having it. Like, Eugene's like, I'm not having any of that. Like, I'm not having any of that. So Negan's like, who are you? And he's like, dude, I'm Negan. I'm 100% Negan. So, yeah. Being a coward, Eugene gives him, and he's like, and he tries to be a coward and basically tries to pull the scam that he did with Abraham back seasons ago, where he says he's some scientist trying to stop the disease of trying to figure out how to cure the Walking Dead. Well, we all know that's not true. He's just a coward, so he's using that same lie again. And Negan believes it and makes him one of the top bosses at the Sanctuary. Good for you, liar. Yeah, so Dwight notices that Daryl has gone missing, and has noticed that Daryl has gone missing, and decides to go to his girlfriend, ex-wife, for help, but notices that she, and then when he discovers the handwriting on the paper that Daryl gave, that she gave Daryl, he discovers that she was the one that let Daryl go, and decides to fake it that she was killed by walkers, and sets up Negan's sanctuary doctor as the one that helped Daryl escape. So instead of burning him with an iron, what does Negan do? He just throws that guy into the iron. He throws his full body in, killing him. Wow, we didn't know Negan could get that dark. He threw that guy's whole body in. And we later learn that that's the brother of one of the doctors that works at Hilltop. So, Hilltop. That's Maggie's doctor's brother. Wow. That was good. I like that reveal. So then they try to recruit Maggie's doctor to join them, because now they killed the brother of Maggie's doctor. They try to recruit the brother of the guy of the brother that they the guy of the doctor that they just killed. Wow, Saviors, you're really in on it. So Rosita gets a nice scar on her cheek from Negan's assistant slashing her, and that's really good makeup on the actress. So Reki and the others decide to go and find some guns, and that's when they run into the scavengers one of these girls, really, the main leader, really likes Rick. And they talk in caveman speak. Yes, they direct these actors really not that good. Like they talk one sentence. Like they don't talk in full sentences. They talk every time they talk. It's only one sentence. Like they say, we win and we don't bother. So they decided to push Rick down a hill and have him fight against an armored walker. A walker full of armor. And Rick's able to defeat it by launching all the trash bags on them. So they're like, yeah, let's have a deal. And they're like, okay, but you gotta get us all the guns. So meanwhile, with Tara, in a flashback, we see Tara and Heath, the guy who I was forgetting, gets separated when one of the walkers they find pushes Tara down into the ocean. But then a girl, Rachel and Kaylee find her. And Rachel wants to kill Sasha because their whole thing, they're part of Oceanside, which their motto is, if they see a stranger, kill them on sight. So Rachel wants to kill Sasha, but Kaylee's like, Cindy's like, no, we better leave her alive. Yeah, because she likes her. Yeah, because now Denise is gone. They're trying to find another Sasha relationship. We all know it. Wink, wink. Yeah, they're trying to find another Sasha relationship. Another Tara relationship. Now Denise is gone. Tara doesn't know about Denise. But so yeah. So Tara wakes up and discover and is very suspicious about how she got on this beach, because last time she was conscious, she and Heath were looking for some stuff. Yeah, we don't know what happened to Heath. Like, they don't, like season, I feel like season 7 drops him. Season 7 drops him. Like we don't even know what happened to him. And Tara doesn't look into him for the rest of the season. Anyway, so she finds like a bunch of women, like Wonder Woman level women who, yeah, the girlfriend before tries to kill Tara, but then the grandma but then Sydney tries to defend her, but then the grandma's like, no, and she's like, guys, I'm just a normal person. I'm not here to threaten you. I'm not here to threaten you or anything. So they decide to keep her alive. Yes, they keep Tara alive. They don't kill her. But she and Rachel kind of have this rivalry going on, because Rachel tried to kill Tara. So Tara, every time Carol sees Rachel, she's like, hi, Rachel, and gives up the middle finger, telling her to crap off. Like, that's their whole relationship. She sees Rachel's just sitting something. Tara's like, hi, Rachel, and tells her to F off. Because, yeah, they have a rivalry. Yeah. So yeah. So Tara basically is like, hey, she needs to see her girlfriend, not knowing that her girlfriend's dead, and Denise is dead. So she's like, hey, she gotta go see Denise. But they're like, hey, we can take you up there. So they find where Heath and her were, but there's no Heath. And all she finds is a PPP sign. What does that mean? Will they have it in season 8? Is Heath gone from the show? I have no idea. Because season 7 completely drops this storyline. Like, they have her find a PPP thing, and it's just never mentioned or seen again in the season. And neither is Heath, for the matter of fact. Like, they don't find him. Tara doesn't mention about how she wants to look for him. He's just gone for, like, the rest of the season. Like, Tara's not like, oh, he's still missing and I want to find him. It's just like, on to the next scene. Like, the writer, you're trying to set up this thing of Heath being missing, but you're not having Tara, the woman that was last with him, be worried about his safety or question where he is. Like, does she just think he's dead? Because they never mention him again after the episode where he's and not in this season. Like, hopefully season 8 we see him again, but for season 7, he's not seen ever again. I don't get it. So yeah, so she's like, hey, promise not to tell anyone about us, and she's like, okay. So meanwhile, so yeah, so they decided to have Daryl stay at the king. So Rick is like, hey, so yeah, so the kingdom decided the Saviors decided to steal Morgan's stick from him, and leave. So Daryl they decided that Daryl should live at the kingdom, and because he's like, hey, they go meet with the King Ezekiel, and he's like, and Rick tells him a story about what his mom did to him when he was a kid, and they are like, hey, we're not in for this fight. But he's like, a fight is not won if it's not, a fight cannot be won if we don't have people. So Carol was like, hey, to Morgan, if you see Rick and gang, tell them she's like left or something. But the guy from before tells Daryl that they're probably gonna have to set up Carol as walker bait, and Daryl loses it, saying you're not going anywhere near Carol because he still cares for her. So anyway, back to the scene. He sees Carol and she's like, and she talks about how she doesn't want to fight anymore. And he's like, hey, is everyone okay? Did the Saviors, and Daryl lies to her saying that Rick and Abraham are still alive when they're not. Because he knows that she doesn't want to fight again. And she'll kill, because he knows she'll kill if she has to. And if she doesn't want to kill, so he tells her the fact that they're still alive when they're not. And Tara does find out about Denise from Abraham and is obviously not happy about it. Finds out about Denise from Eugene before he got captured. So Rosita decides to go fight on her own and says, hey, I want to kill Negan myself, and I'll have Sasha go with me. So, yeah, and then Sasha starts wearing the necklace that Rosita made for Abraham, so that causes Rosita to get pretty angry at Abraham, but then they start bonding later over Abraham, and that's when they see Eugene Lee Walker. So they decide to kill the guy who was there that night. It's kind of funny that the guy who's with Abraham is like, hey, he's starting after the last guy was killed, and then immediately he gets killed. Kind of dark, but it's kind of funny. So they're like, hey Abraham, hey Eugene, we're here to save you. But he's like, no, I don't need to be saved. I'm okay here. And she's like, oh, you coward guy. But Sasha's like, no, I'm gonna go. And they're like, wait, what? And she's like, so Sasha gets captured by Negan, and it's like, and while a mysterious person appears in front of Sasha and appears in front of Rosita. So, anyway, in the finale of the season, we see Sasha Sasha is captured. Actually, when you're on the penultimate episode of the season, we see Sasha as she's captured by Negan, and Negan's like, "Hey, you'll work for me," but she's like, she wants to kill herself because she doesn't want to be used against the group. So she decides to, so Eugene decides to give her the pills that he made for the girls when they wanted to kill Negan. So he gives them to Sasha, and she basically just flashes back on Abraham before he died, and also flashes back on Maggie. So they decide to go. So Carol, so Morgan tells Carol about the fact that Glenn and Abraham are now dead, and a lot of other people are dead. So she decides to go back to badass Carol Monet and help the Kingdom fight against the Saviors. Badass Carol. So anyway, badass Carol. I had to say it. Badass Carol. So what happens is badass Carol. So anyway, what happens is that they decide to go and fight with this. So yeah, so they decide to. The scavengers decided to. Yeah. So Sasha decides to fight with Negan and his gang. And they put her in a coffin. So the scavengers betray Rick and gang because they were working with Negan. Negan paid them better money, so even though the leader lady wanted to get with Rick. Yeah, the funny thing is that she was like, hey, Michonne was like, let's get back to work, but she was like, hey, can I sleep with Rick after we're done the mission? Yeah, that leader lady loves Rick, but she later betrays him for Negan, so she first wanted to sleep with Rick, and then she betrayed him after. So yeah. So what happens is that Sasha decides to take the pills, killing herself, turning herself into a zombie, which causes the gang to think, Eugene decides to stay with Negan because he's a coward like that, and yeah, and then it's a fight between One Sentence Girl and Michonne, and then they let us believe that One Sentence Girl killed Michonne, but it's the reality that Michonne killed One Sentence Girl. The One Sentence Girl who, yeah, all these characters speak in one sentence, like they're from the caveman era or whatever. I don't know what's up with them. But anyway, what happens is that they decide to go, so Rick decides to go. Actually, Rick decides to say what he said against the Terminus guy and Negan in this season. He's like, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday, Negan, I will kill you. And he's like, oh, Rick, you're about to lose your son. But as Negan's about to kill Carl, that's when Shiva comes in, or Shiva comes in and attacks them. Yeah, a CGI tiger saved Carl's life. And that's when the whole top, yeah, Gregory, I forgot to mention, yeah, decides to take and Sasha decides to die, knowing that she decides to die because she wanted to kill thought she could kill Negan, but instead she killed someone else that's beside Negan. Dwight decided to help Rick and the others because even though Tara was urging Daryl to kill Dwight, because he killed Denise, he was like, hey, I wasn't doing it for Negan. I was doing it for Sherry. But now that Sherry is gone, I don't have to do it for Sherry. And yeah, he was doing it for Sherry the entire time. Now she's gone, he decides to help them out. He still does stay with Negan to make Negan think he's still on his side, but in reality he's a bad guy. He's on the bad guy side. But anyway, back to that. So yeah. So anyway, back to that. Yeah, they escape. Everyone escapes. We finally see everyone goes back to normal. They have a eulogy for all the people. It starts off with Maggie talking about how she doesn't know how Sasha got the pills, but she does know. We see Jesus and Maggie encounter a zombie fight Sasha, and we see them kill her. So then we see Maggie go over talking about how Rick and Glenn met and about how that grew into something else. Glenn didn't have to stick his neck out for Rick, but he did. And then we see an audible talk, and that's kind of where the season ends. Negan's still alive, Sasha's dead, Rosita's still alive, everyone's still alive but Sasha. Yeah, I feel like this episode was really good. This season was really good, but I get why it's controversial because of the deaths of Glenn and Abraham. More Glenn. Glenn was there from the first season, so I understand why his death is the most controversial about it, because he was there from season 1. And to kill him off was the worst idea ever. So anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time when we review The Walking Dead Season 8. We're almost there. We only have Season 8, Season 9, Season 10, Season 11 left before we finally finish this dang franchise. Or we'll watch Fear the Walking Dead next. But anyway, see you next time.